Well, it is a bright, sunny day out today, which is kind of rare here lately, so I need to get some chores done. Hey guys, welcome back to another Slightly Rednecked video. Again, my name's Chris. If you're not familiar with this channel, I help you to produce your own meat, eggs, and vegetables from your backyard, your balcony, your deck, your garage, or heck, even a spare room in your house if that's the way you want to do it. And like I said, bright, sunny day out today. It's been pretty rare. It's been storming every single day for the past like 2 weeks. We've got flooding going on all around us. Tornadoes have hit to the south of us, and well, to the north of us, I should say. Last week sometime. It's that time of year. It's the storm season, but it's a particularly bad one this year. Luckily, no one's been injured or killed. Well, I take that back. There were a couple of people that were killed in some tornadoes that went through last week, about 60 miles north of us. Tragic situation right there. But other than that, it's just been property damage and things like that that have been going on. And it could have been much, much worse. But the problem I've got right now is that I don't have very many of these days where it's not raining. It's supposed to start raining again later this evening, and rain tomorrow, and rain Tuesday, and rain Wednesday. So anyway, I got a lot of chores I need to get done, and you just got to take advantage of the time when it's not raining to get out and get them done. First things first, well, this is not what I'm going to do first, but you may notice I've got 3 grow outs over here. Let's see, can you see them in the camera? Yeah, 3 of the grow outs still left. I need to get those guys processed today because I've got some cage repairs I need to do here. I need to replace this tarp underneath here. So I just need to get them out of the cage, get them processed. I'll probably do that later on this afternoon because we've got new baby bunnies over here. I'll bring you in close and show you those. She had 9 baby bunnies on Monday morning. So that makes them 6-7 days old, somewhere right around in there. And okay, I guess I could do the math a little bit better, but I didn't. You guys get the point. So they're about 6 days old right now because today's Sunday when I'm filming this. Great job. 9 baby bunnies, all of them, not a single one dead. Every one of them made it. They're all doing fantastic so far. I'll bring you in close and show them off. But the point is, I'm going to need both of these cages up and functioning with a good tarp system underneath it because I'm going to have a lot of grow outs. I'm going to have to be moving to these cages here in about 6 weeks or so. So anyway, let me bring you in close. Let's show you the babies that we've got. All right, hopefully you can see this. We'll get them out of the cage here. And you know, if you guys have been watching the channel for a while, you know this is my grumpy rabbit. She is very grumpy when you get in here. When she's got babies in the cage anyway, she's very grumpy. She does not like them being messed with, so we'll see if I can do this without getting bit or anything. Get off of them. Get off of them. Let's see. All right, thank you. She's always very concerned when I get in here and mess with them. All right, so here we go. Hopefully you guys can see these. I think they're showing up on camera okay. 9 little baby bunnies. Woo, don't jump out of the nest. In the popcorn stage right now, just going crazy. I've got to hold them in here. But they're all doing good. They're all, everybody looks good. Oh, just got a little black spot on them. Let's get them back in here before they go crawling out of this nest here. I don't need to lose them on the ground. There we go. Tilt it backwards anyway. So, and she's getting concerned with them anyway, so I need to get them back in there. But here, let's get one out and take a look here. Oh, if I can catch one. Good grief, they're wiry right now. Here we go. Nice little cute baby bunny right there. Just about 6 days old. Doesn't even have their eyes open yet. They'll calm down a little bit once they get their eyes open. All right, we'll get them back in there for you. Let her take care of them. Get back. She is not happy about me messing with them right now, but they're all there. They're all still fine. Don't worry. All right, so before I get on tackling all that kind of stuff, I got some repairs I got to do to the quail hutch. And let me take you around the garden and show you what I've done already, because I've already done some work in the garden this morning. There's some good and some bad going on there, so let's go take a look there. All right, so here's the garden. Some things are going pretty well. We can go around and take a closer look here in just a second, but garlic's doing great. Of course, garlic's super easy. I got some scapes it's putting on. I'm going to need to clip off here pretty quick. Tomatoes are doing pretty good. They're a little bit leggy, a little bit wiry, but I got them in cages, so that's not a big deal. But they're all looking pretty good. Cucumbers, they're doing pretty good. I was a little worried about them. All the rain we've been having here, I mean, it's rained every single day, and not just a little bit, like a lot of rain every single day. We've had, I don't know, 10 or 15 inches in the last week and a half. It's been crazy amounts of rain. The biggest problem I've run into with that is some of it's, getting the seeds to germinate when there's that much water. When there's standing water around, it kind of makes the seeds rot sometimes. Luckily, I didn't have too many problems with that, but it has brought the slugs out, and the slugs have just decimated several things. I've had to replant a lot of the okra. I've had to replant because the slugs have just torn it up and just eaten the tops off of it. Green beans over here behind me, we'll take a look at them here in a minute. Slugs did a pretty good amount of damage on them. I went ahead and replanted some more green beans today. Did them in a little bit long line there. And the corn down on the end, it's doing all right. The slugs did get into that a little bit as well, but they didn't do nearly as much damage to that as they did the other things. I did lose, let's see, a squash and a zucchini plant to the slugs and a couple of cantaloupes to the slugs, but I've got plenty of that going, so that's not that big of a deal. Let's take a walk around here and take a closer look. All right, so there's the cucumber right here, and it's all doing pretty good. I had to thin a few of them out actually because they were just growing too many. I've got 2 or 3 in each hole coming out. That's going to be a lot of cucumber. I may have to do some pruning and stuff on them to keep them under control, but for the most part, they're doing pretty good. I've got one hole right over there. I don't know if you can see it. That's empty. There's nothing in it. That's the one that the slugs got all of them. They did quite a bit of damage to the cucumbers, but the cucumbers have recovered pretty well. So anyway, I've still got plenty of cucumber growing. I'm not worried about that one. This should do just fine. All right, so here's the okra here. This whole row is okra. And some of it's doing pretty well. Some of it's been chewed up quite a bit. I don't know if you can see that on the camera, but that looks like that's going to recover. And some of them's just not doing well at all. The slugs decimated it, and it died off. So I've got a couple of empty spots here where I just don't have any okra growing out of it, but most of it's doing pretty well. I think I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4 or 5 holes where it doesn't look like the okra is going to make it. The rest of it, it's looking pretty good. It's doing pretty good, so no major concerns there. But here's a good example of, you can see what slugs have done here. Let me bring this camera in a little closer for you. Okay, so this is a good example right here. And you can see they've eaten half the leaf of this one, half of that one. So that one may end up getting eaten. I don't know. A lot of them, what they've done is they've just eaten the tops completely off them. There's nothing but a stem just sticking up out of the ground. And of course that won't live. So, but I've replanted a couple of times, put a couple more seeds in here and there. And I think for the most part, it's going to be okay. We should be able to get a decent okra harvest out of here. All right. I'm not really much in camera, but that's okay. You need to see this stuff here. Now, the green beans have taken quite a beating from the slugs. You can see this one right here probably. It's starting to grow back, but it was nothing but a stem. They just ate the top completely off of it. Killed most of them that sprouted in here. I've got hardly anything growing in here. But I went ahead and replanted, and I went ahead and did a whole row of green beans. You might be able to see these holes over here. I didn't do them quite as densely as these. This was probably a little too dense of planting, so I did them 4 inches apart, and I did 2 rows of about 20 inches apart between the rows, and that might do a little bit better. But anyway, these are getting chewed up pretty good. Slugs have really enjoyed the green beans. So again, I don't think you can see me, but you can see this stuff here. So, corn's doing okay. Some of it sprouted up and did great, and some of it sprouted up and the slugs came and got it. So what I've done is, I need to replant some anyway, so I have more of a continuous harvest. So I filled in these empty holes over here. There's 1, 2, 3 or 4 empty holes here. I went ahead and filled them in, put some more corn seed in, and I planted a whole nother square of them, just the same size as this one, right through there. So I should have those sprouting up here pretty quick, well, within about a week, and we'll see how they do. But I've never had slugs get corn before, but boy, they sure did quite a bit on this corn. All right, now to the good. Peppers, doing great. We've got a couple, like, let's see, like that one right there, I think you can see probably. It's got a couple of blooms on it. It's already got some peppers coming on it. But for the most part, all the peppers look really, really good. And the tomatoes over there all look pretty good. We've got a couple of tomatoes starting up on them. We got some cantaloupe right here around this cage there. I had a couple of them. I got a couple of empty spots there where, again, the slugs just destroyed them. There's nothing left of the plants, but there's still plenty of cantaloupe growing there. So I kind of overplanted intentionally with the thoughts that if a few didn't make it, we'd be all right. All right, so now on to the Quail Hut repairs. What I got to do is I got to replace this plastic sheet that's over the top of this. I'll bring you in close and show you this here in a minute. It's got a couple of holes in it, so when it's rained, it's let the water in and just soaked that sand that's in the bottom of the sandbox over here. And because of that, it's turned into like concrete. So I've got some new sand to put in, but before I put that in, I'm going to replace this top just to make sure that it doesn't do the same thing when it rains again today, tomorrow, the next day, because it's going to rain all week long. So let me get these birds moved over to the other side, and then we'll get to working on it. Hey guys, all right, everybody move for me. Get my blockers out here so I can block them off. All right, go on. Go on, everybody go. Everybody go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go. Yeah, there you go. Good go. Got a couple eggs to collect while I'm in here. All right, let me bring you in close and show you the situation. All right, I don't know how well you can see this, but the concrete, or the sand, I should say, is kind of like concrete. I mean, it's just rock hard. So it's not a good sand bath for them anymore. It smells pretty bad because, you know, they've been, well, you know, they're feces and it's been wet and it hasn't really dried out completely. What happened was, let me lift the camera up so you can see the top. All right, so this is what's on top of the quail hutch, and it's just a clear 6 mil or 7 mil plastic. I don't remember exactly, but it's done a great job for a long time. I've got it stapled in, and then I put a piece of tape around the edges to kind of seal that off. And that's done a great job of keeping the weather out, but it's starting to get some holes in it. Like there's a hole there, there's a hole there, there's another one over there. And water was pooling up on here with all the rain and then dripping down through, and it soaked the sand underneath. So this is what I've got to get taken care of. And I've got an idea to kind of help with that. I've got it underneath here now. There's a board that runs right along here that provides a rise so the water will run off and not pool up on top. So that should help a little bit with it. But let's go ahead and get this off here, and then we'll work on getting the next one on there. This shouldn't be that big of a job, honestly. It should be pretty easy. I'm just gonna pull this, start with pulling this plastic off. Let me get my cord out of the way so we don't have to deal with that. And we'll run that back through here in a little while. But this is just regular packing tape, and boy, it has held up a lot better than I thought it would. It's doing fantastic. In fact, I may not even have to staple things down. I might be able to just tape it, but I'll probably stick a couple staples in it just to make sure. All right. All right, looks like I'm gonna have to go around to the back side. I can't reach that far. Let me get this off here and then we'll come back and we'll go on the next step. All right, so I got the other piece off there. We're getting ready to put the new piece on. What I've done is I've stood this 2x4, hopefully you can see that, 2x4 up there. Put that right in the middle, and that'll provide a rise in the middle so the water will run off, hopefully not be as big of an issue. It really hasn't been a problem for me. I mean, I've had this hutch going for a long time. Haven't had a problem with it until just recently, and part of that's probably because all the rain we got, and part of that's probably because, well, it just got old and just got kind of worn out, and this top's starting to sag a little bit with me setting things on top of it. So anyway, so I've got this thing, it's not cut to size, but I'll finish it off once I get it all situated. It's a fairly small piece. It's probably ruffling, you probably can't hear me. It's a fairly small piece, so I don't need to do much cutting on it just yet. It'll fit up on here and be just fine. And I think I'll start right here in the front and then go around and take care of the back. So let's see, get it situated. Get the staple gun out, we'll stick a couple of staples in it. one. There's another one. Let's get one up here at the edge. There we go. A couple of them in there that'll hold it in place that way. We'll get it finished off across the front here first. Doesn't need a whole lot of staples because, well, I'll go back through with some tape and take care of that. That's probably good enough for the front. We'll seal up those edges there with some tape. Let me get this piece stapled down though. That wire was coming up, so I might as well staple it down while I'm at it. All right, I gotta go around to the back side and get it all stapled down. No reason you guys need to watch me. I'm just gonna work my way across there and across the back, and then we'll come back and we'll cut it off and size it up. All right, so I've already got tape down in the back. I'm gonna go ahead and do the front side here. What I'm using is, what is this? Wexford by Duck tape, or Wexford by Duck. It's just a clear packing tape, basically. It held up really well before, and I'm just gonna run it along the edges here just to kind of seal this off so we don't have a lot of rain coming in there or anything like that. So, I'll start up here at the edge, and just tape it to the plastic first, and then I'll come back and get it situated with the folded over on the board, if that makes sense. And then just bend it over. Whoops, got that taken care of. There we go. Oh, don't get my latch in there. And I think we're good. We've got a pretty nice little rise up there. We'll see in the next day or two when it starts raining again if we have any problems. But I think that's going to do it. Now comes the dirty work. I got to get this sandbox cleaned out. And to do that, I think I'm going to go get some gloves first. But basically, I'm just going to shovel it out into this bucket and go throw it into the compost pile. There's no reason sand can't go into the compost pile. It's going to come out in big chunks like that, though. It's pretty rough right now. So, like I said, I think I'll go get some gloves, put some gloves on, keep my hands kind of clean while I'm doing this. All right, so I've got my gloves. These are my favorite gloves. I get them from Harbor Freight. They're a heavy duty, I think they're, I don't know, 6 mil or something like that, heavy neoprene gloves. They work great. I think it's, I don't know, $10 for a box of 100 or something like that. Well worth it, in my opinion. They are sturdy, thick. They don't just break like regular latex gloves, but yet they're thin enough to where you still got all kinds of dexterity. So these are what I use for a lot of tasks. So now it's just a matter of shoveling out the old sand. Oh, there was an egg in there. I guess it's going to go in the compost pile. It was buried. And then once I get it all shoveled out, we'll put the new sand in. Look at that. Big old chunks. Nasty. There's another egg. Well, I gotta go empty this bucket. Don't have enough room for the rest of it in here, but I'll come back when I get it all shoveled out. All right, so I got it cleaned out. Well, it's not completely clean, but it's as clean as I'm gonna get it. Actually, it looks pretty good. I mean, there's a little bit of sand in between the wire and the wood, but it's not bad, and looks pretty good. So let's put some new sand in there. And I'm just using regular cheap play sand. There's a 50-pound bag of it right there. Probably take 2 of these. I've got another one. I'll just cut that open. I don't know. I might just leave it with 1 bag right now. Let them play in here. I actually filled it up quite well. So much better, much cleaner environment here. Let's move the boards out of the way. Let them get in here. I think I'll just leave it with one bag of sand in there for now. I've got another one. I'll come back and I may put another one in there if they start digging down into the bottom of this one or something like that. So we'll give them a minute here. They'll figure it out and they'll come in and they'll have a ball in the new sand. All right, guys, go on. You're gonna love it. Go check out your new sand bath. They think it's a trap. Yeah, they've figured it out now. Yep, sorry it took me a while to get that fixed, guys. Yeah, they're pretty happy with that. All right, well, we'll leave them be. On to the next chores. All right, so the next task I gotta get done, I gotta get those rabbits processed. I'm afraid if I put it off much longer and try to do anything else, I'm not gonna feel like doing it, so gotta do it now because they are ready to go to the freezer. I need to free up the cage space. I need to get cage repairs done, like I said. So that's what I'm gonna work on next. Now, I can't show that part on video because YouTube's a little bit iffy about that, and they mark the stuff as adult content, and you get flagged for it and those kinds of things. So I'm gonna go ahead and get these processed, but I'll show you the kind of the setup I've got here. So what I've got is 2 pieces of paracord. I've just got a screws tied in or screwed into the side of my deck right here. And I just tie a piece of paracord and a slip knot on here. So what I'll do is once I dispatch the rabbit, put his legs through here, tighten those slip knots up, and then I'll be able to finish my process with the rabbit hanging here. I've got a trash can right here that I'm going to catch the, this is my kitchen trash can. It's already got some nasty stuff in it, so I'll catch the the innards and those things in the trash can itself and just throw that trash bag away. I've got, let's see, my knife. This is a Mora knife. Good, cheap knives. I mean, they're not stainless steel or anything. They will rust, but who cares if they rust a little bit? All I'm using it for is to process some rabbits, but boy, they hold an edge really well. Just good knives. Got a little honing stick here so I can sharpen my knife up in between, or hone it, I should say, in between rabbits. Of course, my trusty neoprene gloves, keep my hands kind of clean, and a pair of pruners here. Those will help snip through the bones for the feet and stuff like that. And, oh, one other thing. This is my dispatching stick. It's just an old wheelbarrow handle, shovel handle, anything like that works really well. So I'll set the rabbit down, put this over the back of his neck, put my foot on either side of it, grab his back feet, and pull cervical dislocation. That's one of the most humane ways I've found to be able to dispatch him. I don't want him to suffer. I want it to be as quick and as painless as possible, and that's one of the ways I found. The only bad part about it is it does tend to bruise up the neck pretty bad, but it does dispatch them pretty quick. So I've tried pellet guns before, and it just doesn't seem to be as fast. Seems like there's a lot more kicking and stuff afterwards. So anyway, let me get my gloves on and go get a rabbit, and I'm gonna get started here. Oh, other thing, I've got a bowl over here full of water. I'll put the carcass in and my hose. So once I dispatch the rabbit, hang him up, I'll cut his throat to let the blood drain out a little bit. He'll be dead at that point, of course, before I cut his throat. And then I'll spray him down with some water. It makes it a little bit easier to skin without getting fur all over the meat. And then, let's see, and then the hose here just to spray down the meat afterwards. That's about it, really. A lot of times I keep the liver, and I'll have a separate bowl to put the livers in, cook those for dinner, but tonight I'm gonna be grilling out, so I don't know that I'll keep the livers this time. I'm just kind of in a hurry to get it all done. All right, so like I said, can't show this part. You guys are gonna just have to wait till I'm done and I'll be back. All right, so that's done. It didn't take me too long to process 3 rabbits and got all the stuff cleaned up. There was a little bit of cleanup to do on the deck itself, just a little bit of blood splatter basically. And no matter how hard I try, I always manage to get some blood on me too. Just one little drop though, so not that big of a deal. But tell you what, it is hot out here today, about 85 degrees. Worst part about processing rabbits in the heat is you start sweating and your hands are all filthy, so you can't wipe it out of your eyes or anything. But oh well, I managed. I got it all done, got everything cleaned up. So it's time to take a break now. Well, being as hot as it is out today, all the sun, no clouds, I'll tell you what, it just zaps the energy right out of you. But got things you got to get done. I've still got to get these cages all taken care of, and the tarps replaced underneath those cages, but that can wait. That can wait till next weekend actually, because I don't have any rabbits in those cages, so nothing else is accumulating underneath them. And it'll be 6 to 8 weeks before, well, about 6 weeks before I have to worry about using those pens as grow out pens. So it's okay for right now. That can wait. That's not that urgent. I need to get it done here pretty quick though, just to have it done. I got to get another brooder box set up. I already got chicks starting to hatch. I put them into lockdown yesterday. Today they're already starting to pip and starting to hatch, so I got to get a brooder box built. But again, that's just a Rubbermaid tub. Well, it's not Rubbermaid, I think it's Sterilite. And all I got to do is cut a section of it out and put a piece of hardware cloth in it. So I can do that tomorrow night after work. I got to get the yard mowed at some point this week, and with the forecast looking like rain every single day, that's probably what I should work on next. Get the yard weed eated and mowed. I only weed eat about every 2 weeks, and I didn't weed eat, well, about every second time I mow. And I didn't weed eat the last time I mowed, so it's due for weed eating. It's the hottest part of the day. I hate to do it the hottest part of the day. I like to do it early morning or late evening, but with it being Sunday, couldn't do it early morning. With it rain in the forecast for tonight, can't do it late evening, so I need to get it done probably. That's probably what I'll work on next. So you guys don't need to watch me weed eat and mow, but I'll tell you what, raising your own food, there's some work involved in it. The gardening, processing the rabbits, repairs on cages and those kinds of things, but it's the kind of work that makes you feel good, makes you feel productive, makes you feel like you accomplished something for the day. So I feel good about it. Anyway, I better change some clothes. I'm not going to weed eat in shorts and get my weed eating done before any rain sets in. Thanks guys for joining me today. Maybe not a terribly exciting video, but took you through some of the chores you got to get done over the weekends. Yesterday I spent all day just cleaning out the garage, but today it was work on other things. Thanks again for watching. God bless each and every one of you. We'll see you next time. Take care.